Hello all, back again for more of our read aloud from Wonder. We're reading the next chapter today, which is titled Lunch. We heard about a couple of the classes that August went to, and we learned a little bit more about the character Julian, who is starting to show his true colors, or at least what August thinks are his true colors, which do not seem very kind. I really liked hearing about the teacher, which was Mr. Brown. And he had these cool ideas about these things called precepts, and they're kind of like quotes to live by. And the one quote that stuck with me from yesterday that he read was, "When given the choice between being right or being kind, choose kind." And I just picture two people being in an argument or not getting along about a certain topic, and you can either choose to be right or you can choose to be kind. So rather than getting yourself all worked up and getting angry about something, if it really doesn't matter, you have to be right. Is it important to be right, or is it important to be kind? And Mr. Brown's point is, when you can, choose to be kind. Yes. Okay. Chapter 49 is titled Lunch. Via had warned me about lunch in middle school, so I guess I should have known it would be hard. I just hadn't expected it to be this hard. Basically, all the kids from all the 5th grade classes poured into the cafeteria at the same time, talking loudly and bumping into one another while they ran to different tables. One of the lunchroom teachers said something about no seat saving allowed, but I didn't know what she meant, and maybe no one else did either, because just about everybody was saving seats for their friends. I tried to sit down at one table, but the kid in the next chair said, "Oh, sorry, but somebody else is sitting here." So I moved to an empty table and just waited for everyone to finish stampeding and the lunchroom teacher to tell us what to do next. As she started telling us the cafeteria rules, I looked around to see where Jack Will was sitting, but I didn't see him on my side of the room. Kids were still coming in as the teachers started calling the first few tables to get their trays and stand on line at the counter. Julian, Henry, and Miles were sitting at a table toward the back of the room. Mom had packed me a cheese sandwich, graham crackers, and a juice box. So I didn't need to stand on line when my table was called. Instead, I just concentrated on opening my backpack, pulling out my lunch bag, and slowly opening the aluminum foil wrapping of my sandwich. I could tell I was being stared at without even looking up. I knew that people were nudging each other, watching me out of the corners of their eyes. I thought I was used to those kinds of stares by now, but I guess I wasn't. There was one table of girls that I knew were whispering about me because they were talking behind their hands. Their eyes and whispers kept bouncing over to me. I hate the way I eat. I know how weird it looks. I had a surgery to fix my cleft palate when I was a baby, and then a second cleft surgery when I was 4, but I still have a hole in the roof of my mouth. And even though I had a jaw alignment surgery a few years ago, I have to chew food in the front of my mouth. I didn't even realize how this looked until I was at a birthday party once, and one of the kids told the mom of the birthday boy he didn't want to sit next to me because I was too messy with all the food crumbs shooting out of my mouth. I know the kid wasn't trying to be mean, but he got in big trouble later, and his mom called my mom that night to apologize. When I got home from the party, I went to the bathroom mirror and started eating a saltine cracker to see what I looked like when I was chewing. The kid was right. I eat like a tortoise. If you've ever seen a tortoise eating, like some prehistoric swamp thing.
Well, that was a short chapter.
That was a short chapter, and it goes to show you a little glimpse into how August thinks negatively about his appearance. And he doesn't think of it sometimes, but sometimes there are things that kind of force him to think about it, and it brings it right to the front of his mind, and to the point where he even watches himself in the mirror, and then he realizes, yeah, I am different. I do look different than everybody else. So that was a short chapter, and the next one is also short, but it's called The Summer Table. So it's just another glimpse in the same scene. We're still in the cafeteria, just a different chapter. The Summer Table. Hey, is this seat taken? I looked up, and a girl I never saw before was standing across from my table with a lunch tray full of food. She had long, wavy brown hair and wore a brown T-shirt with a purple peace sign on it. No, I said. She put her lunch tray on the table, plopped her backpack on the floor, and sat down across from me. She started to eat the mac and cheese on her plate. Ugh, she said after swallowing the first bite. I should have brought a sandwich like you did. Yeah, I said, nodding. My name is Summer, by the way. What's yours? August. Cool, she said. Summer. Another girl came over to the table carrying a tray. Why are you sitting here? Come back to the table. It was too crowded, Summer answered her. Come sit here. There's more room. The other girl looked confused for a second. I realized she had been one of the girls I had caught looking at me just a few minutes earlier, hand cupped over her mouth, whispering. I guess Summer had been one of the girls at that table, too. Never mind, said the girl leaving. Summer looked at me, shrugged, smiled, and took another bite of her mac and cheese. Hey, our names kind of match, she said as she chewed. I guess she could tell I didn't know what she meant. Summer, August, she said, smiling, her eyes open wide as she waited for me to get it. Oh, yeah, I said after a second. We can make this the summer-only lunch table, she said. Only kids with summer names can sit here. Let's see, is there anyone here named June? Or July? There's a Maya, I said. Technically, May is spring, Summer answered. But if she wanted to sit here, we could make an exception. She said it as if she'd actually thought the whole thing through. There's Julian. That's like the name Julia, which comes from July. I didn't say anything. There's a kid named Reed in my English class, I said. Yeah, I know Reed. How about Reed as a summer name? She asked. I don't know, I shrugged. I just picture like a reed of grass being a summer thing. Yeah, okay, she nodded, pulling out her notebook, and Miss Petosa could sit here too. That kind of sounds like the word petal, which I think of as a summer thing too. I have her for homeroom, I said. I have her for math, she answered, making a face. She started writing the list of names on the second to last page of her notebook. So, who else, she said. Thank you. Yes, you can. Sorry about that, guys. If you didn't figure it out, Jack and Ella just came in, so we left off on the part where they were still continuing to make their list of names in their notebook. By the end of lunch, we had come up with a whole list of names of kids and teachers who could sit at our table if they wanted. Most of the names weren't actually summer names, but they were names that had some kind of connection to summer. I even found a way of making Jack Will's name work by pointing out that you could turn his name into a sentence about summer, like Jack will go to the beach, which Summer agreed worked fine. But if someone doesn't have a summer name and wants to sit with us, she said very seriously, we'll still let them, if they're nice, okay? Okay, I nodded. Even if it's a winter name. Cool beans, she answered, giving me a thumbs up. Summer looked like her name. She had a tan, and her eyes were green like a leaf.
She seems like a nice kid.
She seems like a very nice kid. And I think she may have saw what was going on with all the whispering of everything, kids talking about August, and she probably didn't like what she was seeing, so she stepped up and did the right thing, and that takes a lot of courage to do the right thing, even when your friends maybe aren't doing the right thing. So we will hear more about what's happening after lunch on Monday, hopefully with you guys back in person, as many of you as possible. So looking forward to you guys coming back next week, and we will see you then. All right? Have a great weekend, guys, and we'll see you soon.